Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with daily technical update. It is Thursday, the 28th of August. This video is for educational purposes only. There's no recommendation or advice whatsoever intended. It is purely to demonstrate how I try to read the market using technical analysis and my experience. Excuse me. It is the day after Nvidia released earnings in the aftermarket last night, and I think it's safe to say it was almost like a non-event. The market was slightly disappointed. I have illustrated here how it traded in the aftermarket. It dipped first about 3-4% lower, but then it bounced back and then it closed around $178 as illustrated by the dashed line here, blue dashed line. So that's where it closed in the aftermarket, and that is fairly that is a fairly non-reaction really. No one would have noticed that it actually has been trading about 2.7% lower or something like that. So it's still the 170 spot 89 support here, and the previous all-time high here just around 184.48. So it's still in this range here, so really no direction. So but it will be interesting to watch what will happen later today when the market opens. Nasdaq also yesterday very quiet, basically unchanged. Pre-market here ticking up a little bit, 0.3%. So I guess there were other companies out with earnings last night, CrowdStrike and a few other, Agilent. So that can also be a little bit, give a little bit of volatility to the market today. But in the bigger picture, not really much have changed. Still 22,943 here. That is a bit of support, and the key one here 22,665 on the US Nasdaq 100 CFD. If we are looking at the other indices, the S&P 500. Let's see where we have it. We have it here. Actually closed at its highest price ever. S&P 500 yesterday. So it has confirmed its bullish trend and could continue. And pre-market up about 0.25%. Dow Jones didn't close higher, but was still bullish yesterday. And it is still in a bullish trend. So it's market is still market participants are still quite bullish to it. You can see here the US 500 that is also taking higher here pre-market about 0.25%. So it seems like we are pushing higher, despite the fact that we actually do have divergence on the RSI as illustrated here. But for now, it seems like market is it's a fairly strong going into September, and September is usually cleaning out month and window dressing and everything. So let's see about that, what it will happen there. But for now, market still surprisingly stronger. Maybe it's due to the fact that interest rate has been declining a little bit. We can see here, just to mention, RSI actually broken above and closed above its falling trend line on the US 500 CFD. So that is also an indication that we could push higher. In Asian session this morning, Seng is still showing weakness, dipping below the rising trend line and the previous lows there, but has closed above. There's some support here, 24,775, and the key one here around 24,372, still holding on nicely. But it is struggling, and we had the divergence here on the RSI that is indicating uptrend exhaustion. So for now, so let's see about that. What will play out the next few days. It seems like it is taking a breather really out there. On the other hand, we have Nikkei that is bouncing now, and I think it will crawl higher here in towards the weekend. This is the future we are looking at. So it seems to be crawling higher, and I think it could continue higher, despite we have the fact that we have a bit of divergence. You can see this RSI value lower here than here, where mine moved higher. So we are in we are a bit stretched, but still the trend is bullish. European markets yesterday had a fairly good day, and is continuing today. 0.5% up. It has opened up. Market has just opened here a little while ago. And key question: can it close this gap up to this 5,444 on the EuroStoxx future? Sorry, on the EuroStoxx. If it can close above, well, then it could possibly continue uptrend. And here is the CFD. You can see how it bounces from the 38.2 retrace from 5,374, and we could push higher. And I think we'll do it as long as we stay above here. We could still dip down to the cloud area, but then look at that. We have the 55 moving average giving some support. The 100 underlying is bullish, and the 200 also. DAX index opening a little bit higher after markets weakness yesterday. Just open here, as we can see, testing this falling trend line. It's kind of not a kind of pivot point, I would say, but key resistance is 24,445. Needs to close above that, preferably also above this peak up there at 24,536. And RSI needs to close above 60 thresholds to confirm a bullish trend. Here we have the CFD that is bouncing from the cloud, bouncing from the 55 moving average. Let's see if it can hold on to that going into this trading day. Euro dollar bounced yesterday from the support here at 115.80, so it's still in this little bit of range here. Still negative sentiment on the RSI, and I will actually remove this one so we can have a little bit of clear picture here. Very indecisive, can't make up its mind, because I must admit I thought 117 was the key to break, and it did close above, but it couldn't hold on to it, got hammered back down. So we're still in little limbo which way to go. It's fairly hard to say at the moment. It can't make up its mind, and we can actually draw a trend line here, I think. There we are. So it really needs to break above this to establish a bullish trend. The sterling dollar, or cable as we used to say, also range bound here. So really not much to say. Still slightly positive sentiment. So we are in a correction phase, but we need to close above 136 or break above here. I think a break it will be enough. Then I think it will push higher. If it takes out 134, these supports here just below it, 133.90, then I think we will see a sell-off lower to below 133. Euro sterling, well, I would say also range trading here, really, because it got rejected here at 86.75, or the 50% of this downtrend here. 86 is key key support area, key strong support area. So in this range here again, it should break higher. There is a bit divergence on the RSI, but we're still in positive sentiment, indicating we are likely to push higher eventually. Dollar yen is just really boring, isn't it? I mean, not really much going on. And the reason for this is that we have the 55 moving average coming up. We have the 200 coming down here. So it's kind of tucking it in. It's tucking between those two. And then we also have the 100 coming around. So this battle here in this range area here could go on for quite some time before we see a break. And even we can see some false breaks, because it is bracking it in, basically. The euro yen sliding lower. The key question: will it take out the support there at just around 171? Because we actually have the 55 moving average. I think we could see it spiking lower, and then it will bounce again. Still positive sentiment on the RSI. We do have some divergence indicating uptrend exhaustion. So let's see. But if it takes it out, there is risk down to the potential down to 169.70, 75 support, strong support here, and upside is 173 that needs to be broken. Aussie yen in a falling channel-like pattern still. It needs to break above the falling trend line, and especially close above 96 to 20 to re-establish the bullish trend. but for now it seems it will slide lower. But let's see. RSI still positive sentiment, indicating we should see a break to the upside, but it hasn't materialized just yet. We need a trigger. Sterling yen also basically sideline. 200 around that level is a key strong to resistance, and we have the 55 coming up here. So also kind of bracketed in or boxed in here, so that will take some time to break out of. On the Aussie dollar, well, it's trying now, having a go at the 55 moving average, the upper part of the cloud, and the 61.8 retracement at 65.10. Spiked a little bit above. Can it fall through? If it can take it out, basically today's a high, then I think we'll see a push up towards this peak here at 65, 68, possibly higher, and that will re-establish the bullish trend. Strong support here around 64.20, 64.15. Dollar Canada, testing the 100 moving average, just a few pips above the 786 retracement. Could bounce. RSI positive node divergence, indicating it should bounce. We have also the 55 moving average coming around here. That is indicating an underlying bullish trend, but the 100 is still dragging on a little bit. So let's see if it can push it higher here. I think it will bounce. If you see it crawling higher in this region here, about 138, then maybe that was it. That was the correction, and we are pushing higher on dollar Canada. Sterling Canada, well, I think we will be looking at 38.2 retracement here at 185, 55, 50 level here, where we have some support. We also have the 55 moving average coming on, 100 moving average coming. So there's some support here, also the cloud support. There's no divergence on the RSI, so maybe just a little bit of correction, and then we will bounce on Sterling Canada. Euro Swiss sliding, continues to slide lower. Well, actually be sold off yesterday, bounced a little bit, but I think we will see it could dip to the 786 retracement. Key will be the RSI. Will it close below 40 threshold or not? If it doesn't and it bounces off, well, then we can see Euro Swiss bouncing back towards the 94, back above the cloud, and back above towards the 94.50. But there is risk to the downside. But currently we are below the cloud, so there is risk to the downside. And I think if RSI close below 40 threshold, we could see it sliding lower below 93. Dollar Swiss, more and more narrow range here in this descending triangle-like pattern. Really needs to break above 81 to continue its bullish trend and establish it. And RSI is still in positive sentiment. There's no divergence. I'll draw a trend line here on the RSI. You can do that too. Sometimes you see a break there before you see it in the actual price graph. If it takes out the lows here from a few days ago, well, then I think we'll see it push down to around 79, and that could be then resuming up the bearish trend. On the dollar index, well, almost the same picture really. It is 97.45 support and resistance here around 98.73. That is key. Those two are key for the breakout. So that's the range. I think it will be to the upside because positive sentiment on the RSI is showing that. But it is not a slam dunk. It's not clear. So let's see if it takes out that. I want confirmation. That's how I work. Moving on to the commodities and metals market, we have gold pushing higher, got a back above the 786 retracement. I think we will see it crawling higher in the coming days, but 3,410 is key, and it will also be key if RSI can close above 60 threshold or not. If it does, well, then there is potential towards 3,500, but it takes some time apparently. There's still a little bit of uncertainties in the market, but what we can say, we have higher lows here, both there, and there, but we don't have a higher high, and we need that for a bullish picture. Then we have silver also struggling to gain and really gain momentum, but it is actually in a bullish trend, higher high, higher low, higher high, and can we get a higher high above here? That would be key the next few days. I think we will see that. I think we'll see silver pushing higher towards 40 and possibly higher in the coming days and weeks, as long as I stay above 37. The platinum still can't make up its mind what it really wants to do. I still believe it will push higher, and if it can close above the cloud, there is some resistance here around the 1400 level, but then I think we will see it crawling back higher. RSI has broken above its falling trend line there, and a close above 60 threshold will further add to the slightly bullish picture. The copper, well, it's still this range here, a lot of volatility. There's really not much going on. But if we look closer, we can see, well, we had a little bit of peak there, then we have a low there and a new peak there. So basically, we have a little bullish trend going on here, higher low, then higher here. So maybe we do have a slightly crawling higher and slowly crawling higher, as you can see, there we are. And if I also add a trend line here, so we maybe have a little bit of bullish, very short-term bullish trend going. At least we have higher lows, and maybe that is counting for something. On the oil market, and let's move on to the oil market, we have basically called range bound. I think we will see it to the downside. There's negative sentiment on the WTI crude oil here. Within a few cents from the 38.2 retracement, then it lost momentum. 55 moving average turning around there. We have 200 also coming down. The 100 can't really make up its mind, but we are in a bearish trend, and I think it will resume and take out the lows here, possibly next week. But for now, we have a different situation. The Brent crude oil also, you can see 55 moving average kind of pushing a lower, negative sentiment on the RSI. I think this correction here, it didn't last long, and it wasn't with a conviction. So I think we will see it pushing lower, taking out the lows from yesterday. Then I think we'll see it push towards 65. European nat gas has turned around again, so this correction didn't last long, as we talked about yesterday that it probably wouldn't, and I think we will see a return to around the $30 and possibly also take it out eventually, possibly next week. A negative sentiment on the RSI, no divergence, indicating lower levels on the European natural gas. On the US nat gas, on the other hand, keeps bouncing a little bit. I think we could see it bouncing further to around $3 and around the 61.8 retracement. Key question, will it continue higher after breaking out of this falling wedge-like pattern here? It was oversold a little bit. There was also a little bit divergence on the RSI, I believe. Let's have a look. There we are. Slightly divergence, as you can see. These values were RSI values were rising. So yeah, but it's not a given that it will continue. I don't think it will have all moving averages pointing lower, but there's potential towards $3. Moving on to the yields. US 10-year Treasury yields sliding lower. I think we could see a test of 420 support here, possibly today. And it seems like it will break it, but it's not a given. But we have negative sentiment on the RSI, so it seems like we will slide lower. And then there could be potential down to around 412, maybe 410. We are below the cloud, we are below all moving averages. 55 declining, pushing lower, but it will just confirm a bearish trend if it closes below 420. So US yields are really being pushed lower at the moment. On the European yields also sliding lower here, still in a bullish trend, but it has that's a bit of a correction going on there. And let's see if we add a Fibonacci to that, if we can get a little bit of help with some lines. There we are, 61.8 retracement here at 267. Yeah, very close to it. Could test the lower rising trend line. There's positive sentiment on the R side, but there is declining values, meaning we RSI divergence. So it's about, can it bounce back and move higher? But you know, as a mortgage holder, I'm happy that it is sliding lower, and it's good for the economy in general that we have lower interest rates. So let's see about it. UK 10-year yields again rejected here at the 477.78, and it's again setting back. So we can also see, okay, do we have a correction going on here? And that could take it down to at least the 38.2 retracement there at 467, but we have some support. You see that's where it bounced a little bit, so we have some support in this region. On the crypto market, Bitcoin still in the bearish trends, but trying to bounce. Can it keep bouncing? But it needs to get back above the 117,000 to establish or actually reverse the trend with a bullish trend. But for now, it is sliding lower, so that is the name of the game at the moment. The Ethereum, well, it is holding on in correction. So basically sideways. It is showing trend exhaustion, but bullish trend has not been reversed. It needs to close back below 4,066 to reverse the bullish trend. So for now, it is holding on. All right, that's all for today, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow, and have a nice day.